Chapter number 4, Animal Kingdom. We are going to study here about animals in detail. We look around, you will observe different animals with different structures and forms. As over a million species of animals have been described till now. The study for classification becomes all over more important. The classification also helps in assisting a systematic position to newly described species. Next is basis of classification. In spite of differences in structure and form of different animals, there are fundamental features common to various individuals in relation to arrangement of cells, body symmetry, nature of xylem, pattern of digestive, circulatory and reproductive systems. The features are used as the basis of animal classification and some of them are discussed here. So, according to the various animals, different animals, there are some common features in relation to arrangement of cells, their body symmetry, nature of xylem, pattern of digestive, circulatory and reproductive system. These are the classification. And next is level of organization. In this, all the members of Animalia are multicellular. So all the animals are multicellular. All of them do not exhibit same pattern of organization of cells, means the organization of cells are different, but they are all multicellular animals. For example, in sponges, the cells are arranged as a loose cell aggregates, that is, they exhibit cellular level of organization. So, the example is given here. The example is sponges. In sponges, there is a loose cell aggregation and they exhibit cellular level of organization. This is the example of organization. So the example is sponges, in which there is loose cell aggregation and they exhibit cellular level of organization. Next, some division of labor activities occur among the cells. In coelentrates, the arrangements of cell is more complex. In coelentrates, the arrangement is more complex. Here, the cell performing same function are arranged into tissue, hence it is called tissue level of organization. So, we have studied earlier about cellular level of organization and the example was sponges because the cells are arranged in loose aggregates. Next is tissue level organization. In this, the example is coelenterate. In this, the cells are arranged in more complex pattern and the cell performing the same function are arranged in these tissues and these tissues are known as tissue level organization. Example is coelentrates. Next is a still higher level of organization, that is organ level of organization exhibited by the member of Platyhelminthes and other higher phyla, where tissues are grouped together to form organ, each specialized for particular function. So the next higher level is organ level of organization. In this, the examples are Platyhelminthes and other higher phyla. These tissues are arranged in group together to form organs. Means what? Cells come together to form tissues. Tissues come together to form organ. Organ come together to form organ level organization. So here the example is organ level organization. Example is Platyhelminthes and other higher groups. So you have to keep in mind here about cellular level organization is exhibited by sponges. Tissue level organization is exhibited by coelentrates and organ level organization is seen in Platyhelminthes and other higher groups. Next is in animals like annelids, arthropod, molluscas, echinoderms and chordates, organs have associated with functional system, each system concerned with specific physiological function. This pattern is called organ level of organization. Means what? They have given the examples of annelids, arthropod, molluscs, echinoderms and chordates. Organs are associated to functional systems, means in these animals the organs function organ is functional and each system is concerned with specific physiological function. Means what? In echinoderms, chordates, annelids, arthropods, they are having a multiple organs and each organ gives a specific physiological function. So for example, heart is for pumping, lungs is for respiration. These are a specific physiological function they show. Various organs show various physiological function, so they are having organ system level of organization. The example is annelids, arthropods, mollusks, echinoderms, chordates are showing organ system level of organization because they have a particular function according to their specific physiological function. Because means what? They have various organs for various physiological function, to carry out various physiological function. Next is organ system is different group of animal exhibit various pattern of complexities. For example, digestive system in platyhelminthes has only single opening to the outside the body that serves as both mouth and anus, hence it is called as incomplete. So for example, now we have to see about various systems. So the digestive system in platyhelminthes is called as incomplete system because it has only one opening through which food enters inside, and it is also used for same organ is used for defecation. For means it also serves as mouth as well as anus, so it is incomplete. So the digestive system in platyhelminthes is incomplete and the reason is single opening for mouth and anus. Next is a complete digestive system has two openings, mouth and anus. Similarly, circulatory system has two types, open type and closed type. So in open type, in which blood is pumped out of the heart and the cells and tissues are directly bathed in it. So in open type, whenever the blood is pumped from heart, so that heart pump blood all over the body without ducts or without vessels or without veins. They pour their blood throughout the body and the organs and tissues cells bath in that blood. In closed type of circulation, there is vessels carrying arteries, veins, capillaries. Means in closed type, the blood is carried out through vessel, tubes, blood, capillaries, etc. But in open type, the organ heart is pumping the blood and whole body is bathed through that blood. Okay, so the example for incomplete digestive system is platyhelminthes. Complete digestive system is with two openings, mouth and anus. And circulatory system has two types, open type, closed type. In open type, blood is pumped out the heart and directly, and tissues and cells directly bath into it. And in closed type, blood is circulated through other vessels, capillaries, veins, etc. Next is symmetry. Animals can be categorized on the basis of their symmetry. Okay, the next is sponges are mostly asymmetrical, that is, any plane passing through the center of the body does not divide them into two equal halves. So, the symmetry, there is asymmetrical, radial and bilateral symmetry. Three types of symmetry we are going to study here. So the example of asymmetrical symmetry is sponges. So what happened here? Whenever we are going to take a cut from a particular body. So that body do not divide into two equal halves, so it is called as asymmetrical. The example is sponges. So see the example of radial symmetry in figure 4.1a. They have shown the figure, and they passes a plane between the body, so that body divides into two equal halves, so it is called as symmetrical type. But when the body did not divides into two equal halves, then it is called as asymmetrical. And the example of asymmetrical symmetry is sponges. Next, when any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two identical halves, it is called as radial symmetry. So we are going to learn about radial symmetry. So see here, figure point 4.1, radial symmetry. What they says, when a plane passes in between the body, it divides into two identical equal halves. When there is division of the body into two identical halves, it is called as radial symmetry. The example of this radial symmetry is coelenterates, ctenophores, echinoderms have this kind of body plan. So they may ask question about asymmetrical symmetry is seen in. The answer is sponges. They may ask about radial symmetry. Example of radial symmetry. The example is coelenterate, ctenophores, echinoderms. And they may ask about what is radial symmetry. Radial symmetry means what? The body divides the organism into two identical halves. It is called as radial symmetry. The next we are going to learn about bilateral symmetry. So what is bilateral symmetry? When the body can be divided into identical left and right halves in only one plane, exhibit bilateral symmetry. So see here, we have seen in radial symmetry the body divides the organism into two identical equal halves. It is radial symmetry. Means what? From anywhere they are taking a section, so the body divides into two identical halves. But in bilateral symmetry, there is division of identical left and right halves only in one plane. Means only one plane is passes between the body, and it is divided into two equal halves, right and left, only in one plane. So it exhibit bilateral symmetry. The examples of this bilateral symmetry is annelids, arthropods, etc. They show bilateral symmetry. So see figure 4.1b, bilateral symmetry. So in symmetry you will keep in mind about asymmetrical symmetry is seen in sponges, radial symmetry is seen in coelenterates, ctenophores, echinoderms, and bilateral symmetry is seen in annelids, arthropods, etc. Next is diploplastic and triploplastic organization. So here, so please refer this diagram, figure number 4.2.